Hi, my name's Rich, and this is Woodnote Studio. Today, I'm not actually going to build something, but I am going to take this piece of butcher block and I'm going to make some cuts and route out some areas for a display piece. What is that display piece for? So I like going to baseball games. Me and my buddies, we go at least a different stadium every year, and I bring back a little souvenir for my son, usually a ball and one of the little mini bats. But they're just kind of sitting on his desk upstairs. So I want to make a display case, or not a case, but a display piece so that the ball can sit on top and the bat can hang from below. So I have this piece and a few other pieces so that I can make multiple ones of these. And also this should be sturdy enough for whatever cuts I make into this that it's going to last a very long time. So if you see any logos or teams, I have no affiliation. I have no sponsorship. Anyway, enough with me rambling. Let's get to the build or cut. I start off by finding the center of my piece, and I figure out where I need the ball to sit so it's not hitting the wall that'll be behind the display. Once I finish setting the marks for the tip of the fastener bits to go into, it's time to drill some holes. Now I could use a drill press to make these holes, but they don't need to be perfectly straight. I also only go about a quarter of the way deep because this center area is going to be removed. The other reason I didn't use my drill press is because it's extremely heavy, and I didn't feel like lifting it onto my bench. I guess I could have laid on the floor and drilled these out. That's an idea. Maybe next time I'll try that. After the holes to hold the balls are drilled out, I mark the area in the front center to be hogged out on the table saw. A few things to note here. First, when you are making these cuts, don't put your fingers in the holes. They will end up like the tip of a cigar and go bye-bye. Second, I realized later that using a featherboard helps keep the piece up against the fence and makes it easier to handle. And finally, take small passes to cut away the material. If you try and make the full cut in one pass, you're going to have a very hard time pushing it through and most likely get a lot of burning. And it's not easy standing inside of this. I also did have to remove my riving knife because it sits a little higher than my saw blade, which ends up making the cut more dangerous, since the piece isn't flat on the table. I wasn't concerned about this binding on the blade since it's a cherry butcher block, but if you are making this, use your riving knife if you can. Alright, so at this point I thought, how am I going to get the grooves in the bottom of this to make it presentable and nice, straight? And I tried a bunch of different ways, and the best way I could come up with was to cut out a template. So I took a crappy piece of plywood that I had left over and cut it so that it would fit inside of here like so, and line up, and I can use this as a router guide so that I can cut my openings for the bats nice and straight and crisp without any kind of deviation. I couldn't think of any other way to do this, so I thought this was the best bet. So if you think of another solution to this, let me know in the comments below, because this was really the only precise way that I could think of. So I'm gonna take my 1-inch fastener bit and I'm going to come in here now and I'm going to make a small recess so that the bats can kind of sit down a little bit below the surface here, and then not move or fall out, you know, because in the kids' room there's some jumping that's being done, so there's vibrations and everything like that. So with that, the bats could actually work their ways out. But if I have a little inset in there, it'll prevent them from coming like that. So now I only end up going about an 1/8 inch deep on these recesses. I only want a little lip in there. That's it. Now, the rest of the work on this display is actually on the router table. You can use a handheld router, but I think that would be much harder. If you like this video and would be interested in my upcoming projects, click that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything and it helps my little channel grow. So does hitting the like button and leaving me some comments. If you like gambling, you should go for the trifecta and hit all 3. However, the only thing that you'll win is my gratitude. Anyway, cutting out these slots, I use a flush cut bit, and because the wood I am cutting isn't that thick, I don't get any burning as long as I go slowly. Another thing to note, I'm using a butcher block for this, which means my grain direction goes from back to front. If this was a solid piece of wood, these pieces would be very weak as the grain would run along the side. They would break off very easily. So if you're going to make this yourself, keep that in mind. Next, I use a cove bit to cut a deeper indent for the balls to sit into. I'm careful not to go too deep so there's enough wood to hold them up. Okay, this is starting to sound inappropriate. After that, I use a round over bit to give all the corners and face a round edge. I don't know about you, but I've never seen anyone have any kind of display for these mini bats. I'm sure they're out there, but this is a completely original idea that I had. I figure 5 on the display would be perfect since there are 5 teams in each division. So the most I would need is 6, and then I can display the entire league if I ever get to all those stadiums. Here's to hoping. Do you have a favorite stadium that you've been to? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to see if there's a clear winner. Now, I am not going to bore you with tons of sanding. I just wanted to prove to you that I did it. I used 180 grit, and then I used a soft pad for all the round edges so it doesn't flatten them out. I did get some burn marks from the router table, but they sanded off very easy. The final step before finishing was to cut 2 keyhole slots in the back so I can mount it to the wall. This was my first time using one of these bits, and I have to say it went well. And yes, I put them in sideways because that's what worked for me. It's finishing time. I use a mix of polyurethane, turpentine, and Danish oil. Then I use a beeswax after that sets. Credit for this little mixture goes to Eric Curtis over at N Curtis. He has a whole video on how to make this. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, I have plans available on my website for this display. I lay out every measurement, all the cuts, what order to make the cuts in. The purpose is to just make it a little easier for you if you want to build 1 or 6, and you don't have to write anything down. It's only $1, so it's just another way to support the channel. If you want to. If not, that's okay. I appreciate you sticking around to the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think the display came out great, and my son was very happy to have all the souvenirs I brought him over the years up on his wall. So take care, and I'll see you on the next one.